One thing about political commentary, when you speak the truth, you're going to piss off somebody. No matter what side you tend to benefit from the information, the other side is going to be mad at you. I don't care. It is what it is. And the less dumb people are probably going to come at you rather than look at the merits of what you're saying. Well, the really dumb ones are going to come with the ad hominem and just stupid um, attacks. But again, like I said, my back's broad. I don't care. So as I promised, I was gonna talk about prime ministers after Michael Manley, and now we're up to Andrew Holness, and I will be speaking truthfully and let the chips fall where they may. I support this administration's work, but at the same time, I will speak the truth and just leave the chips fall where they may, just as I see it, as I see them. And so, you know, when you speak the truth, not everybody's going to like it. And sometimes nobody likes when you speak of political issues because people on both sides get mad at you. But I was never worried about anybody getting mad at me. It's not one of the things that I worry about at night. The Prime Minister's tenure as head of the executive in Jamaica has been marked by contradiction. And that's undeniable. Nobody can deny that. It's a blend of undeniable achievements, political resilience, and administrative lapses that have undermined his credibility in critical areas. Now nearing a decade in power, Holness sits atop a mixed legacy that raises serious questions about governance, transparency, and leadership in modern Jamaica. The Prime Minister has not escaped the lingering cloud of suspicion surrounding his personal finances. And at the heart of the controversy is the glaring disparity between his declared income and his growing wealth portfolio, an issue that ignited national debate. The Prime Minister's slow compliance with his statutory obligation to declare his assets to the Integrity Commission was not merely an administrative oversight. Let's be honest. It signaled to many a troubling disregard for the standard expected of the country's top political official. The delay was a slap in the face of every civil servant who must adhere to the same laws without exception. But the Integrity Commission itself has questions to answer because this is a law that was poorly written that allows for the Integrity Commission to be used as a political tool. The Integrity Commission's own conduct is called into question. While the nation speculated and the media dissected Holness's silence, the Commissioner withheld crucial information that the Prime Minister had already satisfied all their requirements in since 2023. This delay in publicizing his compliance was not just bureaucratic sluggishness. It was a duplicitous act that stoked suspicion and fed the narrative of opacity. The damage was done. In politics, perception is power, and Holness was left to fend off implications of impropriety, fueled in part by the very institution tasked with ensuring accountability. Still, one cannot speak of the Prime Minister without acknowledging the transformative infrastructure push his administration has undertaken. Highways, schools, hospitals, bridges, and urban upgrades. His administration has unleashed an unprecedented wave of physical development across the country. Townships once forgotten are now seen, roads being paved, street lights installed, and civic centers built. The Southern Coastal Highway Improvement Project, the Montego Bay Perimeter Road, even has comrades talking about these initiatives. And the massive urban renewal initiatives have not only modernized Jamaica's physical landscape, but have also injected confidence in both local investors and international observers. Under Holness, Jamaica began to shed its post-colonial stagnation and move towards a vision of middle-income modernity. That's undeniable. But critics argue infrastructure alone is not a strategy. Concrete and steel are not substitute for social cohesion or good governance. Many Jamaicans will grapple with the failing schools and disjointed healthcare system and a justice system that continues to favor the connected over the calm. On the issue of crime, violent crime, the Prime Minister's administration has measured success. For decades, Jamaica has worn the shameful crown of one of the most murderous countries, but under his leadership, there has been a notable reduction in homicide rate. In 2024, crime statistics showed a clear decline in homicides, providing hope that the security measures, zones of special operations, and intelligence-led policing may be gaining ground. To be fair, the Prime Minister has taken a more proactive stance than many of his predecessors, refusing to be held hostage by a rights-obsessed minority, excuse me, that often hinders decisive law enforcement action. However, his shift has also drawn the ire of critics who accuse the government of flirting with authoritarianism, deploying states of emergency too frequently, and relying heavily, excuse me, and strong-arm tactics rather than addressing root causes. On the oldest, Jamaica has received international praise. The World Bank, the IMF, and other global institutions have recognized the country's macroeconomic reforms, improved fiscal discipline, and expanding credit ratings. The debt to GDP ratio is down significantly. Jamaica is now seen as a case study in post-austerity success. Tourism is booming again, and foreign direct investment has begun to climb. Yet at home, the sense of economic improvement hasn't fully trickled down. Many Jamaicans feel alienated by a government that talks about GDP while they battle inflation at the supermarket and rising housing costs. Holness is sometimes seen as too technocratic, too polished, a leader who governs more for the international community than the average Jamaican battling the daily grind. It's not a fair assessment, but again, perception can become reality. And when people are inclined to be thinking about just their bellies, this perception can take on and has taken on legs. Andrew Holness is a leader of contrast, visionary, infrastructure, shaky in transparency, bold in security, cautious in reform, internationally respected, yet locally polarizing. The Prime Minister has delivered concrete progress, literally and figuratively, but he has done so while allowing cracks to form in the democratic foundation. His government has earned high marks for building roads, but lower marks for building trust. If Holness seeks to cement a lasting legacy, he must reckon with the unfinished business of governance, deeper transparency, more inclusive economic development, and a justice system that serves the poor as faithfully as it shields the powerful. In the final analysis, Prime Minister Andrew Holness is not Jamaica's worst Prime Minister, not by a long shot, but whether he becomes one of the best will depend on how he responds to this final stretch of his leadership. Will he rest on accolades, or will he finally fix the house while building the highway? This has been the deep dive. Friends, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Here, we just lay out the facts. No fluff. Subscribe to our channel, please. We ask for your subscription. And if you like the content, give us a like. Share them with your friends. This helps the channel grow. And of course, we ask, leave a comment, because I personally respond to every comment that is respectful and of interest, or that is germane to the topic I have. I will respond personally. If it's even with an emoji, I'll respond personally to every single question or every single comment, whether I agree or disagree with them. Friends, I thank you very much. You have a good night.